Hi everyone, it's Angie here at Beads and Plenty More, and today I thought I'd show you how to do a basic little simple bracelet with chain and some Swarovski crystal. Um, these are everyday type bracelets that you can wear for any occasion. So what I've got here is I've got 24 gauge wire cut, and I've picked out some orange crystals here, orange to yellow. Thought I'd do a little bit of a color fade. And I've got about 5 inches of 24 gauge wire cut here, and we're going to do our center here on our bracelet. So I'm going to grab my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to create a small little loop that can hook to my chain. So I'm looking for something that's fairly dainty, and I've already jumped ahead and did one of the links in the chain. Now the reason I did this link down near the clasp is because I want the clasp to be the heaviest part of the bracelet, and when the clasp is nice and heavy, it keeps these nice pretty center beads on the top of your wrist so that you see them most. So I'm just going to hook that loop into the center of my chain, and I like to hold with the needle nose pliers because you put less marks on the wire when you do that. So I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to do 3 wraps. I think that's kind of what I'm looking for. And just come in and trim my extra off here. So then I need to tuck that little end in, so I'm just going to grab my needle nose pliers and just squeeze down on it. Now I need to get all of my beads threaded. So I have 7 different 4mm crystals here. I thought that was kind of a nice number, and it worked well in the center of the bracelet. So now that I've got all 7 threaded here, I need to put the other end of the bracelet on. So I'm going to grab with my round nose pliers right at the end here, fold it over, and then I'm moving my plier, and ideally I want this barrel, this top barrel, to sit where I want to put my loop. So it's going to come all the way around to create my loop. And then we're just going to hook the other end of the chain in. So these chain pieces that I've cut, I believe they're 2 inches. Let me grab a tape measure here and I'll double check that. Yes, they are 2 inches long. My finished length on my bracelet was around 7 inches. So if you want to make it shorter, just make the chain pieces a little bit shorter. So I'm holding with my needle nose pliers, and I'm just wrapping the tail end. So I like to pull the tail end just a little bit. I find I get nicer, tighter wraps if I do that. So I'm just pulling as I wrap here. So then I'm going to come in, trim the extra, and just snug that tail end in. All right, so this time it's actually running away from me a bit. That's where having an extra pair of pliers comes in handy, because I'm holding with the one pair and just snugging with the other pair. There we go. So I've got the chain end on of my clasp, and then I'm going to put a lobster clasp over on this other side. So the chain end is just 3 links of a larger link chain. It allows you to be able to grab it to do your clasp up, so you've got that little bit that you can grab onto, and it also gives you a little bit of size variance if you're giving this as a gift. That way you have a better chance of making it so that it fits the person's wrist. So to put the clasp on, I'm going to create a loop here. So I'm about 1 inch down on my wire, maybe a little less, and we're just going to hook a loop first. And we'll do 3 wraps because we did 3 wraps on the center. thread the bead on. And then on this other side, grab the round nose pliers, fold it. Now I actually want a larger loop here, and the reason that I want a larger size loop is I'm hooking this clasp in, and I want the clasp to have a little bit of flexibility so it moves around. So I don't want it so tight to the clasp that the clasp never moves or does anything, because that's where your bracelet will end up breaking. So that's a good size there. And all I'm going to do is hold across it and wrap my tail end. Okay, and we just need to tuck that in. And again, these are not cooperating with me today, so I'm just going to grab my second set of pliers here. Ideally, this is better with 2 needle nose pairs of pliers, but I just have the round nose handy here. And then I have a little dangle to go on the end of my extender chain here. So this is a thin head pin, and I've just put 2 beads on it, and we're just going to create a little wrapped loop there. So hold it, create the loop, and then I'm just going to wrap my tail end. And sometimes the wraps don't work out. That one isn't as pretty as the other ones, but that does happen occasionally. So I'll just trim the extra. I think the key with wrapped loops is you just have to practice more than anything. Have a bit of extra wire, be willing to cut a loop and try again. That's not the end of the world. So this hooks into that one, and there's the bracelet done. So again, this finished length is around 7 inches. If you need it smaller, just trim some of the wire, some of the 2-inch pieces a little bit shorter. So hope you enjoyed that. Have a good day and have a good weekend. Thanks. Bye.